Respect is a two-way street. If it's not being reciprocated, it's time to take a different route. Respect is fundamental in any relationship. If you constantly feel undervalued or disrespected, and your attempts to address it are ignored, it might be a sign that the relationship is harming your self-esteem and happiness. It's important to recognize your worth and seek relationships that honor that. Are you feeling uncertain or troubled in your relationships? Sometimes the hardest decisions are the most necessary. Stay with us to learn when it's time to say goodbye for your own well-being. When the trust is broken, the relationship becomes a heavy load to carry. Trust is the foundation of any strong relationship. Once it's shattered, it's extremely hard to rebuild. If you find yourself constantly doubting the other person's words or actions, it's a sign of a deeper problem. A relationship shouldn't be a source of continual stress or suspicion. Continuous negativity drains the joy out of life. If interactions are consistently negative, critical, or depressing, it's a serious issue. No one should feel perpetually drained or unhappy because of someone else's behavior. Your well-being should be a priority, and sometimes that means stepping away from toxic negativity. Boundaries are vital. If someone keeps crossing them, they're showing you they don't value your needs. Boundaries help define what you are comfortable with and how you would like to be treated. If someone repeatedly ignores or belittles your boundaries, they are not showing respect or consideration for your feelings and well-being. It's essential to be with people who respect and understand your limits. Constant criticism without constructive purpose is a form of emotional abuse. Criticism aimed to help you grow is different from that meant to belittle you. If you feel you're always being put down and your self-esteem is suffering, it's not a healthy environment. Constructive feedback is helpful. Constant negativity is harmful. If apologies are never followed by change, they are just manipulative tools. Apologies should signify remorse and a commitment to change. If someone repeatedly hurts you and apologizes without making any real effort to improve, they might be using apologies to manipulate and excuse their behavior. True remorse leads to change. A relationship shouldn't make you feel isolated from others. A healthy relationship will encourage your connections with friends and family, not limit them. If you feel isolated or are being isolated by a partner or family member, it's a red flag. Your relationships should expand your world, not shrink it. Love should not be measured in grand sacrifices, but in mutual respect and growth. While compromise is part of any relationship, it shouldn't involve losing yourself or making constant sacrifices. Love is about growing together and respecting each other's individuality and path. When you're walking on eggshells, you're not in a safe space. If you're constantly anxious about upsetting someone or the consequences of expressing your true feelings, then the environment isn't emotionally safe. Communication and comfort are key in any relationship. Without them, it's a sign of underlying issues. If someone's presence in your life brings more anxiety than joy, it's time to reassess. Relationships should add to your life, not detract from it. If thinking about or being around someone typically brings anxiety or dread, it's an indication that the relationship is more harmful than beneficial. Growth should be together, not apart. In a healthy relationship, both individuals grow and learn together. If you find that you're growing in opposite directions or that your growth is being stifled, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship. Your peace of mind is not up for negotiation. Never compromise your mental or emotional health for the sake of maintaining a relationship. Your peace and well-being are paramount, and any relationship that constantly disrupts this should be questioned. Red flags ignored can lead to lifetimes of regret. It's easy to overlook small issues in the beginning, but these can evolve into significant problems over time. Addressing concerns early on can prevent a lot of pain and regret in the future. If the only thing keeping you there is the time invested, it's not enough. The length of a relationship doesn't justify staying in an unhappy or unhealthy situation. Your time and happiness are valuable, and sometimes moving on is the best way to respect your past self's investment. Shared history doesn't obligate you to a shared future. Just because you have a long history with someone doesn't mean you are bound to them for life. People change, and it's okay to part ways if the relationship is no longer positive or healthy. Empathy without boundaries leads to self-erosion. It's good to be empathetic and caring, but not at the cost of your own health and happiness. Ensure you're not giving so much to others that you have nothing left for yourself. Don't let the fear of loneliness trap you in a toxic relationship. The fear of being alone can sometimes keep people in harmful relationships. Remember, it's better to be alone and healthy than with someone and miserable. Valuing yourself means knowing when to walk away. Inconsistency is the parent of confusion, not comfort. If someone's behavior towards you is constantly changing, it can create a sense of instability and confusion. A stable, healthy relationship should provide a sense of security, not constant uncertainty. Actions speak louder than words, especially in relationships. Pay attention to what people do, not just what they say. Actions are a true indicator of someone's feelings and intentions. If there's a discrepancy between words and actions, trust the actions. You are not responsible for fixing everyone. It's not your job to fix or save someone, especially if it's affecting your well-being. You can offer support, but you shouldn't sacrifice yourself for someone else's problems. Sometimes, holding on does more damage than letting go. It can be hard to let go, especially of someone you care about deeply. But sometimes holding on is hurting you more. Letting go can be an act of self-care and the first step to healing. Ignoring your intuition often leads to regret. Your intuition is a powerful tool. If something feels off, it's worth paying attention to. Ignoring these feelings can lead to situations you might regret. A healthy relationship doesn't keep score. Love is not about keeping a tally of mistakes or favors. It's about mutual support and forgiveness. If you're in a relationship where past mistakes are constantly brought up, it's not a healthy dynamic. Your voice should be heard, not silenced. Communication is key in any relationship. If you feel that your opinions and feelings are constantly ignored or invalidated, it's a sign that the relationship is not respecting your voice. Sometimes the hardest goodbyes lead to the best new beginnings. While ending a relationship is difficult, it can also open the door to new opportunities and happier experiences. Trust that better things can come from making tough but necessary changes. We've covered some hard truths today, but remember, recognizing these signs is the first step towards healthier relationships and a happier you. Don't be afraid to seek support or make changes that honor your well-being. Thank you for joining us, and here's to finding peace and positivity in your relationships. With these quotes and commentaries, you aim to provide viewers with insight and encouragement to assess and possibly make difficult decisions about their relationships for their betterment. The language is straightforward, aiming to be relatable and easy to understand for a broad audience.